Hey now, what is up everybody? My name is Mike Brown, aka ReviewKingMB, and I hope some of you at least know that today, September 17th, is officially Batman Day. Yes, and as much as I love Batman, I do. I love Batman so much. What could I do? What could I do to really celebrate Batman Day? I have decided to rewatch and review Batman Under the Red Hood. This was a DC animated film that came out in 2010. It's based on the graphic novel of the same name. The plot is, we see at the very, very beginning, the Joker kills Robin. At least the second Robin, who was Jason Todd. And he does this in a really brutal, violent, vicious way. Batman finds his body. Years and years later, we see that this mysterious guy has shown up in Gotham. He goes by the Red Hood name. He has a red mask and he's going around killing criminals. And Batman's trying to figure out who this guy is and how is he as good as he is. He seems to know all of Batman's every moves in combat until he finds out that this guy is somebody from his past and he is connected to that Robin. Now, what I thought or think of Batman Under the Red Hood is I love this movie. I do. I enjoy this film so much for so many different reasons. First of all, this story is great. It is. I never read the actual graphic novel myself. I love the fact that DC Animation was willing to go for it. Willing to go for at least what I think is one of Batman's best comic book stories and do as much of an adaptation as they could. Let's first talk about that beginning. That beginning when we see the Joker kill Robin. That is so hard to watch. I know at the time Jason Todd was the second Robin. It was a little bit of a dick when it came to being Robin, a little bit of a know-it-all, and he talked back to Batman, and people didn't like him. So when DC decided to leave it up to the fans and say, hey, we're leaving it up to you. What do you want to see happen to Jason Todd? Do you want him to die or do you want him to live? The fans voted for him to die. So thus, that's why they killed him. So this movie, even though all that history is there, even though you kind of know that if audiences, if readers didn't like Jason Todd, it's still hard to see him die in such a way. When Joker is laughing maniacally, hitting him with a crowbar, and just beats him to a bloody mess, and Jason Todd tries to stand up to walk out, but he can't. He falls back down. He's crawling towards the door. You can't help but feel for this guy. And then when Batman finally shows up, only for the place to blow up. Again, it's hard. It's what a Batman would eventually call his greatest failure, his biggest failure. About some of the voice casting, we have Bruce Greenwood as Batman, Bruce Wayne, and I think Bruce Greenwood is really good as Batman. I've seen this actor in other movies, but just hearing his voice, I thought it was great what he was able to bring to Batman. He has that dark, gruff voice that Batman needs. Sure, when you think of animation and Batman's voice, who do you think of? Kevin Conroy, of course, but I still think that Bruce Greenwood brought something to this, brought some weight to his Batman. He does sound and feel like Batman, and that's really all you can ask for. That's all you could want. Now, as the Red Hood, this new villain that Batman's dealing with, he is voiced by Jensen Ackles, who I'm sure most people would know from Supernatural, Dean Winchester. I'm trying to hear his voice and trying to tell it's him, and there's moments when I can hear it, but for the most part, he does a good job just becoming this character and just putting all of his emotion into this character. I think he does a great job. Now, what this movie really does well are the flashbacks. We get a lot of flashbacks because we only see Robin's death at the very beginning. Throughout the movie, you get flashbacks of when Jason Todd was a young Robin, when Batman was training him, and when they were out patrolling, and just how much love was there. The good moments, the good times. You have Neil Patrick Harris as Nightwing. He's another actor who, like, obviously I think I know his voice, but when I hear him here, I think he's great. I love their dynamic, their relationship, because Nightwing, Dick Grayson, is the very first Robin, the original Robin, and even though he's gone off and become his own hero, he still has Batman's back. He's still there for him, and you feel that. Jason Isaac plays Ra's al Ghul, and Ra's al Ghul plays a huge part to this. It's interesting to see Ra's not as a main villain, but as somebody who he actually felt bad. Because when you find out that he was the one who hired the Joker to go off and just be a distraction for Batman, but then Robin ended up getting killed, Ra's feels horrible about this. He does. He feels guilty. He makes almost a promise to Batman to not be an enemy to him ever again. And behind Batman's back, he even resurrects Jason Todd. And that's when we get the reveal of the Red Hood. I know, it's like I'm spoiling all of this. Honestly, I think most people know the specifics, the details going into this. And if you didn't, I'm sorry. I have to talk about it. I can't help but talk about it. So I really loved how they used Ra's al Ghul. I really loved Black Mask's involvement in this, and how he too was almost like a pawn. And the moment when Black Mask he's so desperate, he goes to hire the Joker. And there's a scene where he goes to see the Joker in Arkham, and the Joker, he's not talking, he's just eating chips. He asks for a glass of water. He breaks the glass and cuts the guy's throat, takes his gun and shoots the other bodyguards in the room, and he immediately has taken control and has the edge on Black Mask. And it's like, holy hell, that's the Joker. Just, he's unpredictable, he's dangerous, he's psychotic, he's crazy. I love that scene with the Joker. This Joker is voiced by John DiMaggio, and I was okay with his voice. I didn't hate it, but I didn't love it either, because what do you think of when you think of an animated Joker's voice? Mark Hamill. Of course, Mark Hamill is the perfect voice for the Joker, but I do think that this guy was decent, but his laugh really sold it. He had a good Joker laugh. Also, this animated movie it's PG-13, but man, they get away with a lot of stuff in here. A lot of people dying. There's some like blood being squirted on the wall. Like you could tell people are dying very brutally. There's a scene where the Joker has a bunch of people tied up in this hole, and he pours gasoline on them and lights them on fire. At the very, very, very last second, Batman swoops in to put the fire out. But, I mean, a few seconds longer and those people would have burned to death. And you're seeing that in an animated movie. I'm so surprised how much they get away with, how much gunfire they get away with. But what this movie really, truly gets right. Everything else works. The animation works, the voice acting works, the story up until this point works. But the very end, where you get that standoff with Jason Todd and Batman, and it's a whole give and take of Batman thinking that Jason Todd's pissed about letting him die, but it has nothing to do with that. It's all about the fact that Jason Todd is pissed that Batman has let the Joker stay alive all of this time, that after killing Robin, he can't believe that Batman's let Joker stay alive. He hasn't killed him. And he tries to force Batman to kill the Joker once and for all. And I love that, because you understand where he's coming from. You understand why Jason Todd is angry with Batman. You understand, as much as I love the Batman rule of not killing, as much as I'm like, yes, that's my definitive Batman, I get why somebody else would look at him and say, hell, I'm not telling you to kill Two-Face or Penguin or Riddler. No, I'm telling you, just kill this one guy, because he deserves it. This is such a great character study, such just great dynamics, relationships, great writing. I love this movie, clearly. I can't stop talking about it. This is like the perfect movie to watch on Batman Day if you really want a great story, if you really want a good Batman story. If you haven't seen it, I'm sorry I spoiled it, but this is the one to watch. If you have watched it, though, I'd love to talk about it with you guys. Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of Batman Under the Red Hood? Do you love it just as much as I do? Have you read the comic? Let me know what that's like, what the differences are. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Later!